Greetings, Bowtie Guide 5 here. Winter is upon us. Now, while I don't care much for it getting darker earlier, or care for those windy afternoons and those snowy mornings, and frost on the windows, there is one thing about winter that I do enjoy, and that is my excuse to layer up. There is a whole side to my wardrobe that many people do not get to see because it's only appropriate a certain time of the year. And that is what I've come here to discuss today. How do gentlemen dress for the colder weather? And I would like to begin with top coats. So this is just one of my top coats here. I did a video a while back where I showed off my entire top coat collection. I encourage you to check that out if you haven't already. So this is the top coat. As you can see, it's fully lined. This one is a Tommy Hilfiger. It has a nice little kind of quilt stitching. We will just go ahead and slide this baby on. Now, what is the difference between a top coat and, say, suit jacket? So there's a few differences here. One is the top coat is going to be longer. So as a suit jacket normally is going to come down to the fingertips here. This one comes longer. It comes down to the knees, sometimes past the knees. You have some different lengths. There's 3/4 length jacket, there's full length jacket. I do have a pea coat I will be showing off as well, so you can see the different lengths. The sleeves are going to be a little longer. So with a suit jacket, normally you want it to come above the wrist and you want to show your shirt cuff. These are going to come further down onto the arm and cover most of the wrist. Also, you will notice, I showed you that it's fully lined, you will also notice that the jacket is much thicker. It has some backing to it. You can't probably tell, but it's textured. So whereas the suit, there's more of a twist, more of a finish to it. There is a lower twist grade. If it's wool, if it's cashmere, it may be a little softer because it's a different material. And a lot of reason they do that with the suit, you get a higher twist grade because you want something that's more breathable and that you can wear and be comfortable in. This is designed to keep you warm. So they leave it more moderate in finish. Also, some sizing things here. So with a suit jacket, if you wear a 42, which I do, when you're looking for an overcoat, you want to go up a size. So this is a 44, and the reason that is because you want to allow room. If you're wearing the suit jacket underneath this, I took it off just to give a little versatility and movement. You want to leave room for the jacket, so you're going to need bigger shoulder, and you want to kind of be able to move around in it. Maybe you're out scraping ice off the car or shoveling snow. You want to be able to move in that jacket. So if it fits more like the suit jacket, you're going to be a little more restrained with some of those unfortunate winter activities. And the jacket also has more room in the body here to also allow room to fit over the suit jacket. But just like a regular suit jacket, just kind of buttons. Normally, the same row applies, always, sometimes, never. I always leave the bottom undone. I usually don't button it if I'm going to be sitting down, if I'm wearing it in the car. You also have the lapel pocket here. I have seen on some occasions people will adorn the pocket with a pocket square. You can do that. I don't think there's really a rule to that if you want to wear one on top. I wouldn't personally, because if you're wearing this because of the weather, I would not want to expose my silk to the elements, but you guys do you. You'll find different pockets and things in here to keep like gloves and other kind of wintry kind of things. But that is just a little bit of the top coat. I have two other coats I want to discuss with you, so we will do that next. So this is my pea coat, and as you notice, it is already a lot shorter. This one is lined very similarly with the quilt pattern. So just really nice insulation to really keep you warm. This one has buttons on it, but also a zipper. And there's a little bit of a collar to it, almost similar like a turtleneck where it kind of comes up on the neck. I usually don't do the buttons on this or the zipper. I usually just leave it as is, but you can totally zip it up. If it's especially windy out, it's good to do that because then it keeps the jacket from flying open and wind getting inside. And then you can also you can still button it on top of that. Now, like I mentioned with the pea coat, it's a 3/4 length. So it's going to be about the same length as a suit jacket. As you can see, it comes to my fingertips. But then you still have the longer sleeves that protect the wrist. And then this one has the pockets in front to provide further warmth for the hands. Or you can keep your gloves in there if you have gloves. So I just thought I would show off the pea coats. And then I have one more overcoat that I want to show you guys. Alright, so one more overcoat that I wanted to show you guys, and that is the raincoat. So what's different about the raincoat, as you can see, I'm hoping the light picks this up, it has a nice sheen to it. This is a different material. This is a material that is a lot for when it's really rainy out. And this isn't necessarily just a winter weather garment. This is for any time it's raining, and I'm not just talking about a little mist or a sprinkle. I'm talking about, you know, when they say it's raining cats and dogs out, this is a good jacket to have because it's going to keep your suit dry. And this, again, like the top coat I mentioned before, is a fuller length. It comes down past the knees, down to the shins. It has a bit of a collar to it, so if you want, you can kind of pull it up like that, and it's going to keep like the collar of the shirt dry as well. And then you can kind of, this one is double-breasted, so it kind of comes across, and then you can kind of button it up like that. And then it also has this little belt. So if you want to tighten this, if you want to come in and like cinch the waist to just even further keep the jacket closed up, you can. Now, where this one differs a little bit, the sleeves are longer still like the other coats, but then you have this little button here on the sleeve, and it almost works like a shirt sleeve where you can move the button. You can move the button here to another buttonhole, and it kind of tightens the sleeve a little bit just to ensure that you're not going to get any water up. Because sometimes, you know, you're holding the umbrella, sometimes water can get down in there, so it's nice to have that feature as well. And then, of course, you have the pockets here, so if you're doing gloves or anything like that, any other kind of accessories, that's good to have. You can keep car keys, things like that in there, so it's really nice to have. But that is pretty much it for top coats. We're going to move on now to scarves. Alright, I switched back to my top coat here. I think it really complements this outfit here. Now we're going to discuss scarves. So this is a scarf here. This is a wool scarf, merino, so it's really finely woven. It has almost like a cashmere kind of texture to it, but it's not. You'll see different kinds of scarves. Some will won't be as wide. They'll be kind of like this. This one's a full length. and depending on how tall you are, normally the scarf is going to be the length. It's going to hit the floor about your feet up to your shoulder. And then with this one being longer, I do like to fold it in half just to kind of take some of that width out. And then you can either drape it, I sometimes just drape it around the neck and let it hang down, and it just kind of protects my neck from the elements. You can also kind of pull up the collar on the jacket and then slide the scarf underneath. And then what the scarf does is it kind of holds that collar up, so it provides even more protection for that back of the neck. You can also fold the scarf. There's a few different ways to do that, which I will show you now. Probably the easiest way, if you come about halfway up and then just flip the other end around and over the shoulder, you can do something like that. Or you can bring this even higher up and then bring it all the way around so you have both ends hanging this way. And then another way that I've seen, and it's almost kind of like the beginning stages of doing a tie, is you kind of come up through here, and you might want to adjust the length like that, and it kind of folds over, and then you can kind of pull it up towards the neck, and then it's almost kind of like a cravat, how it just hangs down, and then you've got it going all the way around the neck. There's no really right or wrong way to that. It just kind of becomes a matter of preference, and you can kind of play around. Depending on how tall you are, how big your neck is, you might prefer one style over the other. I kind of like to leave it open because it's kind of fun to kind of like play around with, and it feels good on the back of my neck. But if I don't, then I usually just kind of fold it over like that just to have it out of the way. But that's it for scarves. This isn't my only scarf. I have several more, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on some of my other accessories. So we will be discussing that in another video. But I want to move on from scarves and discuss hats. Alright, we have discussed overcoats and scarves. Now I want to discuss hats. This is a fedora, probably the most common style of hat you're going to find outside of, like, you know, your typical knit kind of skull cap style hat. But that's not really something a gentleman's going to wear. You want something that's going to keep the head warm but will not compromise the hair. And I don't do hats often because it takes a while to get my hair just the way I want it. But fedoras I do like, because you can just kind of slide them on and push them down. Now you want to, when you're purchasing hats, I like to try them on to see how they fit. Some hats may be a little tighter, some may be looser. So you want to look. Some hats are kind of sized differently. Sometimes they're sized by number. But if you don't know your head size, you may want to measure for that. And it's the circumference, which you can easily do with a little kind of tape measure. Or if you go to like an actual store, they will measure for you. But this is a department store hat, and it's sized like, you know, medium large. This is a medium, actually. My head's not as big as we think. And then I usually, with fedoras, you'll have the brim comes up on one side and then it kind of lays down in front. And the front, like this, is the part that you want towards the front, just like that. You can kind of turn it to the side a little bit if you want, or kind of, you know, kind of have fun with it, give it a little character. But I usually just go straight forward with it. Now there's other styles of hats, of course. You know, there's like bowler hats and, of course, top hats when you're getting into more formal affairs. But a hat is a nice gentleman's accessory to have during those winter months, and I just wanted to show that off. And I have several hats, so I do want to take some time to show those off in my next video. But I just wanted to kind of discuss the hat a little bit. I'll show the inside here as well, so you can see the label, but then you also have, there's a nice little paisley lining on the inside, so it's very luxe. Some of my hats are solid color. This one I like though because it's two-toned. And then you have like the little kind of satin sash going around the top there just to give it a little something extra. It's just a stylish way to keep warm. Now I have one more accessory I want to show off, and that is gloves. So the last accessory I want to discuss is gloves. And I'm not talking about those little knit gloves you had as a kid or the mittens that were like attached to your little bubble jacket. I'm talking about a good pair of leather gloves. Now there's a few different styles of leather gloves. You have those really tight, kind of thin, they call it like driver's gloves. I don't have any of those, unfortunately. And they more or less just kind of fit around the wrist. And it's more for like gripping, protect the hands and the steering wheel from like the oils of our skin. But these are more of a lined glove. It's a little thicker, and it's more designed for actually like keeping your hands warm. And they just kind of slide on. And I like to tuck my glove up because it kind of flares out a little here, and I like to tuck it up under the coat sleeve so my hands stay warm. And you can kind of see here, I've had these a while, so there's a little wear and tear. So you can tell I've gotten a good use out of them. And you can see they just fit over the hand nicely. You can still kind of move around in them. These are really great to have when I'm cleaning off my car in the morning, or if I'm leaving work and we got a snowstorm in the afternoon and I wasn't expecting it, and you've got that debris on the windows, or if I'm shoveling a path to my driveway. These are really good to have. If I'm going to be outside for a prolonged amount of time and I don't want to keep my hands in my pocket the whole time, the gloves are nice to have. And it really just completes the look. You have the hat, the scarf, the jacket, and the gloves. Just feels like that kind of cherry on top. So it's a really nice, again, gentleman's accessory to have. You can get different colors. This is more of like a chocolate brown, which I like because it matches this jacket fairly well. But you can get black. I've even seen like gray, burgundy. You can get different colors if you want to like play matchy-matchy with the leather and kind of match the shoes, or you know, however you like to do that. That's perfectly fine as well. But I just thought I would show these off in addition to everything else. And I would say we are ready to brave the elements in style. So I thank you for joining me once again. I hope you have found this video informative. As always, hit me up in this comment section. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time.